What's up guys, you're watching Poot's Garage, and we just got shafted. Driveshafts, finally! So in this video, we finally get to install a set of Tom Woods custom drive shafts in the truck. These are the last pieces we need for this truck to get it on the road. But we also got a few small things that we got to take care of to get these in. So let's show you what we got. So inside these two boxes, I have not opened them yet and I'm really excited, but we got two custom drive shafts for this truck. Custom length, custom style. I got some extra parts going on in here and I got to give you a close-up, but I'm really excited to get these open. What's up guys? Welcome to the map. So for anybody new here, what we do is you call out where you're watching from and I'll put a red pin on the map. Now this is going to be a continuation of the last video because I had so many because I missed a weekend and blah blah blah. So this will be the second half. But let's get to it. First up is Camdenton, Missouri. Then we got Knox, Pennsylvania, the whole state of Iowa, Devon, Alberta, Canada, Houston, Texas, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Fort Collins, Colorado, Memphis, Tennessee, Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada. This one is almost my furthest north, but I think Sweden got you beat last week. Gainesville, Georgia, Killen, Alabama, Sparks, Nevada, Melbourne, Australia, Birmingham, Alabama, Shelby, Montana, Springboro, Ohio, and last is San Jose, California. And we're all caught up on pins, so keep calling out them cities, them states, them counties, them countries, whatever you want to represent. So let's see what we got. I've actually had these for about 2 weeks now, and noticed I haven't opened them yet. It's been pretty hard to do, but you know, I have to do things on video, so we got packaging. Here we go. This is the front shaft, obviously. It's the shorter one. Oh, man. Nice. So I got a couple extra parts attached to this that I explained in a couple of videos ago when I was going over the length and the angles and all that stuff. So if you want to see how I measured all that stuff up to determine what shafts I needed, you'll have to go back and check those out. So these here are a couple of 10-degree axle shims that I purchased to get my rear pinion angle set up correctly. And it also comes with new spring pins. So these are going to be quite the chore to get in. Alright, here's the front shaft. Woo, she's so fresh and so clean. I'll give you a close-up of this in a little bit. Now let's get into the long one. This is the back one, obviously, the rear shaft. I'm excited to see what this thing looks like. Oh, this is long. This is long and heavy. Here's a comparison on the front shafts. Obviously my new one, and that's obviously the old one. That's pretty obvious. So first thing I notice is the CV section on the new one is actually smaller than the old one, but I believe these are real weak, just a lot cheaper cast metal, or these are still probably cast, but a lot stronger. You can see they're a little more machined, it looks like, for strength and whatnot, and these look kind of cheesy. So this is supposed to be a lot stronger. Looking at the ends here, you can see we have a lot more metal on the flange here. This one's a little cheaper looking. Now working our way down, the shaft size looks about the same size diameter, but then you get into the slip section and this is a lot fatter. If you're gonna break one of these, it's gonna be right here probably, so this is a lot nicer. And then our slip section up here is actually quite a bit longer, so we got a little more travel, I'm sure, out of this one than that one. And we're sticking with the original 1310 style U-joints, so that'll be fine for now. So far I'm impressed. This is looking really good. A lot better quality than the old stuff. Now let's compare the rear. And this is where things look a little different now. So obviously we went away with the slip yoke style and we went to a fixed yoke. And now our slip is on the drive shaft itself. This old drive shaft is actually bigger. This is a 4-inch tube. This is 3.5 inch, but this is 120 wall, and I don't know what thickness wall this is. These ones here, we are staying with the original 1350 U-joint, which is plenty strong. But other than that, that's the rear shaft. It's looking pretty good. And for all the small parts that we need to put all this together, we got new U-joint straps for the rear, the front. I got a new output seal for the front of the T-case. That's that one that's been constantly leaking, so we got to replace that before we throw the new shaft in. And then I actually had to go to Off-Road Design to get this because Tom Woods didn't carry this in stock. I don't know if they're sold out or what, but these are the actual brand new set of straps for, I believe this goes on the rear. And you already saw the axle shims that I need to put in there for get the pinion angle right on the rear. This is 10 degrees. We actually have to we're gonna have to pull the axle back out pretty much. And then these are the pins that go through the springs themselves. So these guys will actually get bolted into the spring itself. We also get a nice collection of stickers. That's always a good thing. Add some horsepower to your rig. Complimentary instructions that come with everything. And then this, I believe this is like a grease fitting tool thing. So first, let's tackle the front end. I gotta replace the seal here before we can put that drive shaft in. Let me give you a little closer look and hopefully not bore you too much. Forgot to grab my light up here, but that's where the drive shaft goes in. It's just a flange. Can't really see a whole lot from this side, but ever since I pulled this drive shaft out, I've been just draining all my gear oil out. I don't know why. I didn't do that before, so I don't know if just the shock of the impact gun on loosening those 4 bolts kind of jarred the seal loose or what, but we're gonna pull that flange off, just a big nut in the middle. Hopefully there's a seal right there that's easy to replace, and hopefully the seal I have is the correct one, and we'll fix that. Then we can just slam that front shaft in and have a victory for the day. We are all back together. New seal. I used a little RTV to clean up the washer and the nut to keep that from sealed in there. Keep that from leaking. Keep that all in there. I believe there's supposed to be some sort of a rubber seal that goes on the splines, but that's not in there because this thing has been apart before. But it's looking nice and clean and fresh. We'll get some of this oil cleaned up or just let it dry off on its own. I did have to drain some oil out of the T-case just to keep it from continually dripping out of that bearing while I tried to get the new seal in and stuff like that. But everything's cleaned up and ready to go, and I think we can get the new drive shaft in. Check it out, we got a front drive shaft. Woo! We could technically drive this in front wheel drive if we really wanted to right now. Now that the front's done, we can move to the back. The back, I think, is going to be a little bit more heavy lifting. I actually have to completely disassemble the rear springs to get the shims in so I can point that pinion up just a little bit. So that's going to be a little bit of work. I'm going to have to take out the wheels probably. I'm going to have to possibly take out shocks. I'm going to have to unbolt all the U-bolts. I'm like, not looking forward to this, but we got to get it done. This is what we're trying to get to. That's the center pin on the spring. This is actually kind of holding the spring together, and it also has a big round nub on the bottom that actually places right in the center of the axle that helps keep the axle centered and know where to put everything. So that's what we need to get to. I got to pull that spring out, or sorry, that pin out, and then I'm going to clamp it first so the springs don't fall apart. Yeah, we got to put it out. We can put our new shim in there, put the new bolt in. I don't know if this bolt's long enough, but they gave new pins, so let's get at it. The beauty of it all. Just the two of us. Check that out. The paint that they actually used to paint these springs is still wet inside of there. That's interesting. Okay, we got one side done. I'm gonna knock out the other side real quick, and then we can measure this pinion angle and see how we're sitting. Beautiful Nevada sunset. Alright, we got the other side done. Everything's buttoned back together, and everything is looking phenomenal. And this is what we're left with. So you can see our axle shims are in there. We got the pinion pointed back down. We got our new pins. These are nice and long. I'll cut those off later if I need to, but everything's looking good. I've actually already gone through and measured the angles, and so I still have 7 degrees at the transfer case like we originally had, and now I have 4 degrees at the pinion here, so that'll account for some axle wrap and whatnot, and I think that'll be perfect. Other than that, I mean, I already went through and I retorqued these U-bolts, 135 foot-pounds. wheels, big boys. And next, I think all we gotta do is put this drive shaft back on, and then I'll put the wheels back on. Alright, we did it. We are back on the ground. Everything is bolted up. Everything is torqued down. The only thing I got left is the top off the transfer case fluid because I drained quite a bit out of there when I replaced that seal. But I'm not worried about that at this moment. It is getting late in the weekend. I got to edit all these videos up for the rest of the night. So yeah, right here, we are all done. Technically, I could probably drive this truck out of the garage right now and actually drive it around the block, but it's really late in the day, evening, night, whatever. It's dark outside. I'm not trying to wake up the neighbors with this loud thing. To be honest, I just don't want to. I'm too tired right now, so we're gonna save that for next weekend. But we are pretty much good. Only thing that I was thinking about we got left is like the front shocks, but I'm just gonna drive it around the block without those. And then like, I don't know, like differential breather hoses and stuff like that that I haven't done yet. So we're getting down there. We're getting real close.